Sup nerds, welcome back to my channel. My name's Maddie. If you're new here, I hope your day is going well. I need to do a thumbnail. So clearly I've done some different things with the background of the video, and clearly we are going to be talking about how my content actually moving forward is going to be different. I have notes. I've filmed this video already and didn't like it, and then had to mess around with my camera settings for the past like 2 days to just try and figure out how I wanted to create this video, because we gotta talk. We gotta talk about how I don't feel like the content that I've been making is feeding me creatively. I guess that's where I'm gonna go with on this. And I've been mulling about this concept for almost several years at this point, that the style of video that I've been known for is just not my favorite. And obviously I don't hate doing the rant reviews. I enjoy them, they're fun, but I definitely feel like at this point in my creative journey, I need to do something different. And I honestly cannot continue to make that style of video in the current political climate. I am tired of feeling like a dancing monkey doing videos about discourse and problematic authors when I know that my comments will be filled with a bunch of people who don't care and or aren't really understanding my points. I even had one recently where this comment was basically saying that I was whining about anti-intellectualism because I thought Silver Elite was mean. And like, that didn't make any sense, but the person who was interacting with me was just calling me stupid for saying I was confused by their argument because A, didn't say the book was mean, and B, anti-intellectualism is not calling a book mean or whining about intellectualism. And that's what I've been finding a lot of in this community. I do apologize if this feels a little bit rambly, but a big thing that I found recently about the bookish community is that there are a lot of people in this community now that do not care about the books. They don't care about the actual community elements. And there are aspects of my community right now that I feel like I've left a huge piece of myself behind just to feed the algorithm. There was a moment recently after I went to BookNet Fest, which was an incredible event. I highly recommend you go if you at all participate in bookish things on the internet. If you're just a reader or a watcher or a creator, like, you should definitely go to this event. But I realized recently after that event that the people that went to that event were really the reason that I started my channel, the people that love books, that love the camaraderie that there is about reading. And I noticed something about the way that I've been making content, and it hasn't been about how I actually feel about books in general. It's just bandwagoning on like the current book of the month, the current discourse of the month. And I can't do that anymore. I don't want to do that anymore. I don't feel like it's helpful. I've been making these rant reviews for literal, like, almost a decade. And I just feel like I am not the person that you guys watch. Like, let's be real. Do you know my name? Like, it's Maddie. I say it in the beginning of every video, but I realized I had lost something of myself in the creation of this character that I have in these videos, where I am just always so angry. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired of being angry at every single thing that I read and every single thing that I share on the internet. And I want to actually start treating my channel the way that I intended it to be, a creative outlet. And that's what I'm going to be doing going forward. That's basically the biggest thing that I'm doing with this video. I am telling you right now that my content is going to change. It's not going to go away from being straight bookish, but I am planning on growing as a creative person again. And I just don't feel like the rant reviews or the discourse videos were really helping me grow at all as someone who likes and enjoys watching book content. Allie from Allie Enchanted did a video recently coming back to Book Talk about how this community has been filled with so many people who just don't understand the concept of A, reading critically, and B, being empathetic towards minorities and diversity. And when I say being empathetic, I'm not saying the people that think that we need to coddle authors because negative reviews are supposed to be held back into private spaces. I'm a reviewer. If that's the distinction I have to make, I'm a reviewer. I am not a reader anymore. I have been talking about books on the internet publicly for a decade. I don't have to private my fucking page to protect an author's feelings. When they created a product, I get to review that product. It's not like we're saying, oh, the person who designed the American Eagle pants shouldn't be getting a 1 star because that makes their little feelings hurt. That's stupid. And of course, you can't say that's stupid in a comment section on TikTok anymore, or say someone's got worms for brains because their shit, that gets your fucking comment removed. That's the other thing. There's a lot of, I feel like, things that I feel like I have to censor myself about, and I just feel like my actual personality isn't coming through in my videos anymore, and I'm tired of it. I want to feel like I'm me in my videos. I want to feel like I'm creating something that brings joy, not necessarily in the sense of watching someone in pain, i.e. me reading a bad book, which I do enjoy. That will potentially not change. I will most likely be still reading things that I don't like, because what do you know? It's actually kind of fun to hate read things. There's a reason why I've continued doing it. But I just feel like at this point, if you want to continue following me, you have to expect that this is going to be a much more community-focused place on the internet. I'm not going to spend hours and hours and hours of my time detailing every single issue with a book that I didn't like. That's not going to happen anymore. I'm going to try and experiment with my content style. I want to start vlogging specifically about living in Las Vegas and enjoying horror content of pretty much any kind, which actually brings me to the main crux of what I will potentially be changing my content into, and that is I would like to start making more writing vlogs, specifically because I came out of BookNet Fest with a book idea that I actually think I'd had many years prior. I just hadn't been inspired. I haven't written anything in so long because I have been consumed with the fact that YouTube became a part-time job for me, and I felt like I could only do one thing, and that's not what I started my channel on, and it's not what I want to do anymore. And I don't like the way that this community has, not this community specifically, but the way that the algorithm has made me feel like I have to chase views. I'm not going to do that anymore. My content will not most likely change like I've done in the past, where I've completely rebranded and hit a bunch of content. That's not going to happen. I'm probably going to keep most things up, but I will not be in the mud pits of discourse and things like that. I will be sharing my writing process. I have a Notion board and a Pinterest board and a whole playlist for a horror book that I am very excited to write. And I know that a lot of people probably, maybe not a lot of people, I'm sure not actually many of you know that I've been writing pretty much the entire time I've been on YouTube. I did NaNoWriMo several times, rip, but I do think that this is going to be something that I practice in and of itself. Like, I'm not necessarily going to publish this book traditionally. Actually, I don't think I will publish traditionally ever. But this will be very much for me and the people that want to read it. I will not be sharing this as a I want to get rich scheme. It's more of I would like to enjoy things while the world burns around us. That is the crux of the situation. Also, at the same time, like, I just would like to stop seeing the stupid comments in my comment section whenever I talk about anything political. I'm going to continue being political. That's not changing. Don't even get me twisted on that. I will continue to say fuck ICE, fuck this administration, and fuck the bullshit that's happening in Gaza. That is going to continue to happen on this platform. And that is why I think I will be pulling back from specifically rage bait videos like rant reviews. I will still do those in some form or fashion, but I want to encase a lot more of my actual creativity in these videos. Like this morning, I had a bug up my brain about an idea for an art project that I wanted to do. And you know what? I just fucking did it. I just jumped in and did it. And that was so goddamn freeing and so wonderful. I have podcast ideas that I want to do. I have so many videos specifically about the horror genre in general. I have moved so far away from my traditional fantasy content, especially because fantasy, the genre in general, the fans are really hard to crack in on. I felt like I tried to niche down there, and that's just not going to happen. I'm not going to be chasing specifically an aesthetic anymore. I'm not going to be chasing a niche. I'm going to be just doing what I fucking want to do. And if you don't like that, you don't have to watch my content. That's where I'm at. If you don't like my politics, if you don't like my views, and if you don't like being here, you don't have to be here. And I know that seems really attacking, but I want to be clear about who I am now going forward. And that's just what we're gonna do, I guess. I don't know. I feel like I'm very aggressive about what I'm saying, but I know that this will be a potential detriment to my channel, and I have both felt caged by the way that this channel has progressed and exhilarated, because I like talking to people. I like seeing comments on my videos. I obviously like money from YouTube, but I'm not going to just lock myself into this tiny bubble anymore of only doing rant reviews that aren't even doing that well anyway. So I'm like, why am I reading about Basilisk Dick if you guys aren't watching? You know? You feel me? That being said, I will continue most likely to make videos on certain problematic people in the community, just not only that. You'll see vlogs, you'll see writing updates, writing videos potentially, whatever you guys are interested in that are not rant reviews or video essays on current bookish community discourse, let me know. I have like a bunch of ideas of things that I want to do. I want to do like a video breaking down the plot line of Lost Girl, that succubus show. That, I don't know if you guys want that, but that might be something I do if it is. I want to do videos on listening to Sleep Token. I haven't really delved into them, but I know that a bunch of my friends love that band, and I think that would be a funny video to listen to all of their work. I want to do like movie recommendations, a lot more book recommendations and things like that. And I just want to not leverage, but I want to start using my platforms in just ways that make me feel so much more useful as a person than making rant reviews, because I can review a book and go, hey, this is bad. And I just don't feel like it's actually working anymore. Like, I just feel like it's just creating more hype around a book because people are talking about it, because people are looking for these videos. And I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not going to feed that narrative. I'm going to start trying to find ways to make my content more fun for me, because I'm the one making it. So it should be for me first, right? So I hope this video makes a lot of sense. I have been rambling for the past like 14 minutes, and I'm not abandoning this situation at all. Don't get me wrong. I am going to try and learn Final Cut Pro, which is going to be a pain in the ass, but I really want to start making videos that I am proud of. And currently I'm not proud of anything to do with the rant reviews. I have thoughts and ideas about how I want to approach all of my content from now on. And if you're excited for that, please give this video a big thumbs up, leave some black hearts in the comments or some skulls or whatever you want to see from me going forward. But I think that's going to be it for me for today. Like, subscribe, all the good stuff. Bye.